Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am here at a coffee shop with John.
Yes,
John, what do you have there?
I have a white hot chocolate, and I think this is ice cream, but
That's a lot of whipped cream. If you know me on a personal level, well, not many people actually know this, even with people that are close to me. I do not like whipped cream.
really.
I hate whipped cream because it tastes like nothing.
But this one actually has like
The,
sugar.
the caramel on top?
Here, try it.
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's just, it's underwhelming.
I see.
It's just like it's a foam that has no taste. So it's like for me, I think it's more of when I think whipped cream, I think that I have high expectations, and then when I have it,
Yeah.
it just
I just think that in if you really enjoy whipped cream, it's like a certain niche, because whipped cream, it just melts in your mouth, and it's like, as he said, it doesn't have a taste, but if you put like caramel drizzle on it, oh my gosh, this is new. I like this. But
interesting.
yeah.
I usually salivate when people are having treats right beside me, but this time I'm not that intrigued by it. But listen, we're here at a coffee shop. John texted me last minute. I was just making dinner. I was eating dinner, and he texted me and said, "David, let's do a podcast." And I'm like, "John, I haven't stepped outside the house in probably 4 business days, and so count me in." And so John comes, he picks me up. We tried our luck with 2 other coffee shops. Unfortunately, one of them was basically closing within 20 minutes, so that was going to be pointless. Then the other one at Dow Cafe, it was full. And so we decided that we'll give this one a shot. It's a bit further out, but I've actually been here a few times. This is probably my 3rd time being here. I remember they opened up a few years ago, and it's a nice vibe. It's a very nice vibe. Yeah. This place has been here for a few years. So that means they must be doing something right if they're in business for that long,
Yeah.
serving coffee.
Yeah, that's true. Because the coffee industry, like the coffee shop industry,
Yeah.
is very hard to get into, right? And so, like, let's ask the expert here. This is something that I always do with David. That's really fun. David.
I'm no expert when it comes to coffee shops, but
See, he already knows it's coming. David, how much money do you think this coffee shop makes?
well, okay. Rent alone, they're probably spending at least $7,000 to $8,000 in rent in terms of location. They're in a prime location in Plaza here on Innis Road in Orleans. If they have at least, let's say they have 7 staff, so let's say $7,000 for their
Wage.
space, and then maybe let's say another like 10,000 for all the staff, so that's 17,000, and then plus all the products that they have to replenish each week, because you can't keep these type of products for too long, especially with cakes. They expire.
Yeah.
Fruits, they expire. Coffee is fine.
That would fall into overhead expense.
Yeah,
right?
that would be an overhead expense. So their overhead is probably minimum $35,000, and for them to keep this, they have to be making more than that.
Yeah.
So probably around 40, 50, 50,000.
A month.
$50,000 a month. So $50,000 a month is $600,000 a year. Wow. Which isn't bad for a space like this. Let's give them a little view. So they might even be paying $10,000 a month for rent here. I don't know. And then they obviously have electricity, water, Wi-Fi, all those things. But yeah, the only problem is when you have people like me, when I go to a coffee shop, I'm going to spend 4 hours and I'm probably only going to spend $5. So when you get customers like me, where I take up 5 hours of your space and I only spend $5, you're basically only making $1 per hour off of me, which isn't all that great. And that's why with a business like this, a lot of them, their coffee might be cheap, but then they'll upsell you on the dessert. Like the desserts are going to be like $10 for a piece of cake. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Their tea is like $3, But then if you actually want to get a drink that's enjoyable, it jumps to like $8.
Yeah, this was $7.50.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So the way they make their money here is just to upsell you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was wondering, right? Because as soon as you said 50K in a month, that's
Yeah.
every month, and it's like, okay, how can you reach 50K with low ticket sales, right? Because they have low tickets, like milk is like $3.95. That's a low ticket thing, you know. But yeah, I was wondering that, like, what would be the
Yeah, if this business is low ticket, which it is, they have to rely on volume. That's the only way they can negate not going into like a crazy deficit. Because if, let's say, on average each person brings in $5, they would need 1,000 people. I mean, they would need to bring in 10,000 people to make $50,000. But I'm sure $5 is on a very low end. Let's say, yeah, let's say $5 per person. On average, if let's say if on average each person that walks in here spends $5, they need to have 10,000 people visiting this place a month. 10,000 to make 50K. Now, if that bumps it up to $10, if a person on average spends $10 here, then that brings it down to 5,000. Right? And that's why it's really important for them to increase the client's lifetime value when they're here by upselling them with a lot of things. I mean, as you can see right now, they have this sign where they give you a limit of 90 minutes to hang out here. So I'm sure the reason why they have that in place is because they don't want people spending too much time here and not spending a lot of money.
yeah.
Right? Imagine this place was packed and each person only spent $5. Now you're limiting from new people from coming in because you're at a capacity. And if those new people are willing to spend $10 instead of five, then obviously they're more incentivized to get those people to come in here and kick the people out that are only spending $5
Can I ask you?
or free water.
Yeah. Can I ask you something, bro? What made you, bro? Like, I'm not even trying to glaze you or anything, but you're actually very good at business, you know, and everyone knows that. And obviously, we have to give the respect where it's due, give the credit where it's due. But I just wanted to ask you, David, like, why did you wanna become a businessman? You know, why? Is it money? Is it ambition? What is it? Like, because you're so good, you know?
I appreciate that, John. I mean, you're very kind. Thank you for that compliment. And so I think the reason why I love entrepreneurship and business so much is because of the freedom that it gives me. Even though it's the most difficult thing you can get yourself into, because money is inconsistent. If I was doing it for the money, then I should have left a long time ago. Right? I don't have disposable income. I don't have disposable income where I can just go buy an extra pair of shoes every month. I don't have the disposable income to replenish my fridge on a monthly basis as willingly, right? You have months where you don't know when you're gonna eat. So when it comes to money, it's definitely not it. Because if it was money, then I would have just gotten a nice, stable 9-to-5 job. I would have golden handcuffs right now by the government of Canada. And so it's never about the money. Now, of course, the money is gonna be nice when we make it. But it's the ability to do anything with your free will. I have full control. I have full control of what I do in my life. Everything is my fault. The amount of money that I make and don't make is no one's fault but mine. All the success that led me to where I am is my fault. All the downfalls that led me to where I am today is my fault. And I think that is so beautiful. I think that's the core essence of being a human being, is living through experience, your human experience. And when you work a job, I feel like that's taken away from you. I can leave the country tomorrow and I don't have to ask permission. I can walk out of my house anytime. I can go and take a piss and not have to worry if I'm being productive and someone overlooking everything that I'm doing. So I love that. And I think, I always say this, entrepreneurship is the modern way of it's like being a hunter and gatherer. Everything is earned. You have to go out there and earn everything. Otherwise, if you don't eat, it's no one's fault but yours. So every single day that you're fighting to get that client is like you hunting for that food. And more than anything as well is like entrepreneurship and business offers so much perspective.
Yeah.
Because if you are just, let's say your career is in accounting, you'll just be that person for the rest of your life. Whereas entrepreneurship, you meet so many different people of walks of life. I've serviced people in real estate. I've serviced people in dental clinics. I've serviced people in construction. I've serviced people in personal branding and fucking computer, whatever it may be. I've had conversations with many of those people, so it allows me to be a versatile human being, right? And I also love the fact that I can see the outcome in real time of the value that I provide, right? I can have those conversations with my clients. Okay, how did my service positively impact your life? I'm able to have those conversations. Whereas if I was just working at a job, even if I do such a great job, the person that's going to get the praise is the person that owns the business.
That's true.
And the person that owns the business are the ones that are gonna have that relationship with that customer. And I don't know. I don't like that disconnect. And so, yeah. I mean, for me, I want to ask the question back to you. Obviously, first year in business, went very successful. Obviously, a lot of ups and downs. No, it's all because of you. You did the work. I was just there to guide you, but you did the work. Because at the end of the day, if you didn't take the action, then you wouldn't be here right now. And so, my question for you is, you've seen the ups and downs, and you put yourself into the fire of entrepreneurship. Like, you went in and you've seen the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows. And obviously, it's a very scary journey. What made you decide that this is what you want to do, and what made you decide that you're going to stay?
Honestly, I've been asking that question the whole year. And I think it's one of those years, and I saw this quote on the internet, okay? Where it feels good not having to restart again in the beginning of the year. Because, I don't know if you've seen that quote as well.
I haven't seen that quote before, but that's beautiful.
It's like saying like, okay, like this year you're not restarting, but you're building towards something that you actually want to build for yourself. And to go back to your question of how I knew I wanted to be in this industry or in this life is because I love the results. You know, like I love the fire. I love the results. I also love the complaints. I love everything there is to be in business, because I've seen this guy, right, from the lowest to the lowest to the highest. I've seen him go through it, and for me, that's like, holy shit, I want to be that guy, because not only he's successful, but he's also a good friend of mine as well. And not only that, you care about results, you know? And so I think that's why I really want to stay in this field, because I want to make sure that everyone that I service doesn't have, as you said, a disconnect when it comes to humanity, right? Because at the end of all this, at the end of business and whatnot, I get to shake my hands with mothers, fathers, you know, and real human beings. So, yeah.
It's like the genuine connection that you build with people, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And the best part about business is that, yes, in the beginning, a lot of these relationships are transactional. But once you're able to move that to a different level, then it becomes a friendship. It's a friendship that will last a lifetime. I've met a lot of cool people in business, and now they're my friends. They're my forever friends, and that's the beautiful part about entrepreneurship and the business in general, is that it's like, okay, I'm gonna use food as an analogy. It's like having a career path of a normal 9 to 5 is just like going and visiting the same restaurant. Whereas in business, you're able to go to a continental buffet,
Right.
where there is a variety of things that you can try out,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of the times people stay into their career because they have no other choice. Whereas with business, it teaches you so much resilience, it teaches you so much grit, and you're able to just make the pivot when you need to. You're
Yes.
not afraid. I mean, obviously there are times where you should be afraid, but you will always have to roll that dice, and most of the time you're always gonna have to bet on yourself. So, but yeah, no, I really love that, man. I mean, the biggest thing that I see you developing so much in is your client relation, and that's the most important thing. Client relationship is really key in business, because you're gonna have some of your clients who let's say you make a pivot, all right, and you can no longer service those clients.
Yeah.
But if those clients respect you and like you, and you've built a good relationship with them, and they become your friend, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna help you to your next pivot. They may be the one that's gonna help you get your next clients. Because the thing about hanging out around business owners is that they know other business owners, right? Rich people know other rich people in the same way that poor people know other poor people, because they all hang out at the same spot, right? And so that's what I love about entrepreneurship, is because listen, there's been moments where I used to have a 9 to 5 job, and I was fearful that if
Yeah.
I were to lose my job, I didn't know what to do. Now, in business, if I lose a client, I'm not fearful, because losing a client is technically somewhat getting fired, but I'm not fearful of that because I'm operating in abundance.
Yeah.
Now I know that I have the right skill set, I have the right relationships to get whatever it is that I want, right? And so there's one question that I want to ask you, John, and that question is, how do you see business serving you? Because right now you're in business to serve people, but how do you see business serving you?
That's a deep question, bro.
On the spot, baby.
On the spot. I think that's
I'm just gonna grab water.
yeah. Honestly, I think that's a question that that is a good question. See, I'm speechless. What would business do? Well, that's some.
I feel like I know the answer.
Yeah,
I know you so well, but
That's
I want to see what your answer is. But I feel like I know your answer.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want you to answer that.
Okay. I'll answer it. Okay. So, the way that my business is going right now, right? I have a 5-year kind of like timeline for myself. So in the next 5 years, I will be going all in on my business, and then after 5 years, wait. So within those 5 years, I'll take baby steps into youth work. Obviously, I'll take baby steps into niching down to actually what I want, right? Because I want to use my business as a way to bring money in for my nonprofit in the next 5 years, which is going to be the orphanage project. And so I think that's what I'm doing right now, is I want to serve people because I want to fully experience what it is to actually have a business and actually have a team that will actually go straight with you, right? Like with David, I've really saw that David had people in his life that really supports him inside and outside of business. And how he got there is because he's a great person, right? He only ever pushes people. That's it. Pushes people to success. That's it. I've never seen anyone like that. like without asking for something in return. You know, like you've never once asked me, bro. Yeah, it's like
I do it from the heart.
yeah, yeah. And so my question for you is, David, as a first year entrepreneur business owner,
Yeah.
there are people that sometimes I am afraid to talk to, like clients, obviously, like big clients, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I really look up to you when it comes to talking to clients, because you're very brave. And
Yeah.
you know what you want. You get what you want. They get what they want from you, which is
Yeah.
fair. Good. And so how would I change? You know, talking to those big people, big companies. If you're in a room with a millionaire, like a billion dollar person,
Yeah.
I know you're not going to be afraid.
Can be. Yeah.
So how?
Well, before I answer that question, I just want to say that your answer with my last question is very beautiful, and I knew that exactly that's what it was. And that's the beautiful thing about John, is that John is not selfish. He's here to serve people, and it's amazing that he's using his current business so that he can piggyback off of that to build another business that is not selfish, that is non-profit, that is there to help and serve not just people but young kids in need, right? The thing about John is that everything he does is a net positive to society. It's never about for his own sake, right? I've seen John give his last dollar. I've seen John where, you know, he makes a few bucks, and then he's gonna ask the boys to go out, and it's on him. Like, he's just that type of guy. I swear, he's just that type of guy, and it's very, very honorable. And to answer that question, that's a very big question, and because I was there,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
very intimidating when you walk into a room and you're the poorest person in the room, and you're asking for something, you're asking for an X amount of money that you've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been in rooms where I'm talking to multi millionaires, and I barely have $100 in my bank account, and I'm asking for like a few $1,000s a month, and I'm asking them to sign right now. Like, in what world can that happen other than in business, right? You're literally like negative net worth, and yet you're asking for so much. It's intimidating, and I think the biggest reason why it's intimidating, and it took me a while to get out of this headspace.
Yeah.
And the thing you got to do is that you got to stop putting them on a pedestal. The reason why you're there is because they need you. It almost sounds weird, but you almost gotta inflate your ego. You almost gotta make sure that you understand that you are deserving to be in that room. Because if you were not deserving to be in that room, they would not be having that conversation with you. Because you know this, rich people are busy.
Yes.
They have rich people shit to do.
Yes.
And so if you're in the same room as them, that means you have something of valuable. Yes, you do not have the money, right? But business is all about exchange and value. They have the money, you don't. You have the skill set, they don't. And so what's happening there is just an exchange of value.
Yes.
And so the moment I was able to understand that, the moment that I was able to understand that I'm here for a reason and I belong here, that's when I was never afraid anymore. That's when I was able to walk into a room, be the poorest person, and still conquer. Because I never put them on a pedestal anymore. At the end of the day, we all put our pants the same way. We all shit and eat in the same way. And so they're not better than me, right? They might be better than me in terms of their bank balance, but they're not better than me as a human being. You got to understand that we're all even. And at the end of the day, yeah, maybe, you know, they're better than you in some ways, and you're better than them in some ways too. And that's why there's this conversation to exchange in value. So when you're having these conversation, I know it's intimidating.
Yes.
Bro, I've been in rooms where there's like 4 people and it's just me. And they're all trying to go against me, right? I have to go there and pitch my services. I have to go there and prove myself. And I'm sitting in front of like 4, 5 fucking multi-millionaires, and I have to go there. I'm a little kid. Obviously, I'm not a little kid, but I look like a young kid, and I'm asking them for fucking $60,000 a year. And then if they ask you questions, you cannot fold. The reason why a lot of people are afraid when they're in that room is because they know that they don't know the answers to all the questions that they might be asked. But if you can walk into a room right? And you know that no matter what kind of questions they throw at you, you can answer that confidently, then it's not a problem. You have nothing to fear. The reason why it's so intimidating is because you're afraid to fail. You're afraid to fold under pressure. But if you know your business and your service in and out better than anybody, no matter what kind of questions are being asked of you, you can answer that with confidence and conviction, you'll be okay. Right? And so now if you're walking into a room and you're just bullshitting and they ask you questions that you don't know the answer to, then that's when you're gonna fold.
Yes.
That's when you're gonna crack under pressure. So, number one, understand you're deserving of being in that room. Number two, know your business better than anybody. So no matter what kind of questions or situation they ask you or they put you in, you can get out of it the right way, and you close that bitch. You know? That's just what it is. That's what it is, man. You're always That's the crazy thing, right? You're always the small fish in a big pond.
That's true. Yeah.
And especially when you're starting out. But you gotta understand, man, do not put these people on a pedestal, because when you do that, you're making yourself smaller than you actually are. Remember, you're deserving of it, because if you were able to get them into the same room as you, if you were able to get that meeting, then they're willing to invest their time into hearing out what you have to say. So now don't waste their time and don't waste your time by doing bullshit, spewing out bullshit. Be honest, do your research, study their business, study what it is that they want, and really understand how your product or service is going to solve their problem, right? Because the reason why you're there is because they have a problem and you have the solution for it. That's the whole premise of why you're having that business meeting. They've got a problem, you've got the solution. How can we fucking make an exchange? That's it.
And it's not like, it's not wrong, right? To just be like be very confident. You know, it's not wrong to like, it's not cocky. It like that type of stuff, right?
Why would it be cocky?
Cause like I guess I'm looking at this in a point where it's like, cause I'm imagining myself, right? Cause this is a real thing that's actually happening to me.
Okay.
And so I just feel like if I talk the way that I like know it all kind of thing,
Okay.
wouldn't people say that like, oh, he's cocky, like, oh, he's like being this and that? But
Well, it depends. I mean, it's all how you frame things, right? But if you're just spewing out your real knowledge and you're an expert, then there's no harm in that. And if you're just being genuine and they're going to be offended by it, then that's probably not the type of person you want to work for or work with. Because why would you get offended by something so simple? And there's something I actually want to cover here.
yeah,
There's a lot of the times where you'll hear people say, yo, that guy's very prideful. That guy has too much pride. And that is seen as something negative. Why? For me, if I know that I can do something and I can do it at the best of my ability, why is it wrong for me to be prideful of that? Why is it wrong for me to take pride in knowing that I'm able to provide some sort of value that took me years and years to develop? Why is that bad if I'm proud of myself? You know what, bro?
Yeah, that's actually
That's pride and proud. The reason why I'm prideful is because I'm proud of it.
yes.
I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the things that I've been able to do. Why is that a bad thing?
That's true.
You always want to be proud of yourself. You want to be proud of your peers. You want to be proud of your family, your friends. So why is it bad when you're proud of yourself? You look at me as someone that's arrogant, but because you think I'm prideful, but I'm just proud of myself. I'm just speaking it with conviction. People are so soft nowadays that when you speak something with so much conviction, do you think that you're arrogant?
That's so true.
Why? You know what it is? Is because they feel attacked.
Yes.
They feel attacked and they feel as if you're trying to one-up them. Even though you're not trying to one-up them.
That's not.
It's simply just me stating a fact. I'm good at X, Y, Z, and I'm saying it for what it is. And I'm saying that with pride. Why? Because I'm proud of myself. Because it took me 10 fucking years, whatever it may be, to get to that level where I can be proud of myself.
Yes.
So, spew all that. Man, if you're good at what you do, talk your shit. Talk your shit. Just make sure you back it up.
I think I need to do that,
yeah,
bro.
man. It's all about framework. People are so afraid to show off.
Yeah.
Bro, show that shit off, dog. If you're handsome, take that selfie. If you got a sick car, fucking post it.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why you have a sick car is because you worked hard enough so that you can fucking buy that car, so you can afford that monthly payment, so that you've built a good financial habit, so that you have the good credit score to fucking finance that car. So why is it bad if I post my car? Oh, David's prideful. Okay, I'm proud of having this car. I'm proud the way I look because I spent fucking years in the gym, eating healthy.
Yeah.
You know,
fire.
I'm not flexing on you. I'm just stating it for what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
because you deserve it, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Like, bro, take pride. Take pride in what you do. Because if you don't take pride in anything that you do, then what the fuck is the point of doing it?
That's true.
No, that's being serious. That's a question I want to ask you. You at home watching this right now. If you're not gonna be proud of the things that you do, then what's the point of doing it? Right? And so, but yeah, I feel like a lot of these things in business, a lot of it is just all framing. It's all nonsense, right? And people will always just have something bad to say, but as long as you know exactly what it is that you're doing, and as long as you're net positive, as long as you're not harming anybody, then you're okay, bro. So yeah, what are your thoughts, bro? Like,
Yeah, cause like, I really ask you that, right? Because, bro, you've known me for like a long time, that you know I'm shy, you know, and it doesn't make sense because everyone knows on the internet, I like, oh yeah, that guy's out there, you know, he's always like talking to people, this and that. But when you actually talk to me in person, I'm the most shyest person in the world, and I don't know what it is, but I think it's just that confidence of like I want to learn that from you, you know, and that's a thing. That's why I asked you. It's like, I know you're not cocky, and I know you're not like this and that, because everyone knows you talk your shit and everyone should listen, right? And for me, I listen too, and so that's why like I just wanted to ask that, you know?
No, I appreciate that. I mean, here's the thing, man. Confidence is so rare nowadays that when you're confident, people mistaken that as being cocky.
That ass, yeah.
But everybody works so hard on themselves to become confident in their own skin. And in the moment someone is expressing confidence, all of a sudden they have negative shit to say about it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that person is arrogant. All of a sudden that person is cocky.
Exactly.
But that person is just confident.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that, right? Like, I can sit here and talk in front of the camera and post that story.
Yeah.
You know, there was one time, there was my ever first finance video, okay? I posted it. I was proud of it. I was very proud of it.
On Instagram?
No. This was on YouTube. This was
shit,
this during the pandemic. And somebody said to me, yo, I couldn't watch it. I was getting secondhand embarrassment. So it's so crazy. On this just goes to show that some people are so unconfident in themselves that they get embarrassed from what other people are doing.
Yeah.
So when people cringe, there's this concept of being cringy.
Yeah.
The reason why people cringe,
bro. I hate that.
the reason why people cringe, understand this at home. The reason why people are cringing is because they do not possess the confidence to do what you are doing. And so for them to cope, they're going to say that's cringy.
Yeah.
Right? And that's fine. The reason why it's cringy is because you don't have the confidence to do what I'm doing right now. Right? Because if you had that same confidence, you wouldn't say cringy.
You wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, so
actually wouldn't say anything.
So going back to that comment, when that guy said to me, yeah, I couldn't watch the whole video, I was getting secondhand embarrassment. I'm just like, wow, this is the reason why people are not willing to try.
Exactly.
Because I posted that video and I was proud of it. I was like, yo, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help a lot of people. I was proud of it. And then someone is just gonna be like, yo, I couldn't watch it because I was getting secondhand embarrassment. I was like, bro, that's kind of shitty that you're embarrassed and I'm not.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, it took them time to think about it, right? To watch the video, think about it, and then post it, and actually type it with their fingers.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like a 5-step process in the brain.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like some. But
Going back to content though, I mean, like, obviously when you before you joined me in my business endeavor last year,
Yeah.
you weren't really like creating content.
No, I wasn't.
So it was like, what made you get into creating content, and how has that changed your perspective into creating versus consuming?
That's actually a very good question, because before all of this, I was not creating content. That is true. The reason why I created content is because the content actually helped my business as well as myself. Because not only I got to know other entrepreneurs, I also got to know other people such as yourself, right? Such as like James and them. I wouldn't have gotten close with you guys and stuff, because I create content because there's always a positive energy reciprocating at the end of it, for me at least. Because if I create content, other people that see my content, they resonate with it. And for me, if at least one person resonates with my videos, that's it. You know? But when it comes to like business content, obviously, well, yeah, like I got like many more clients and stuff. But it really was so fun, because I was just looking at you, bro. Honestly, like that's like my biggest reason, is because like you told me to just create content and just don't even give a fuck. And look at me now. Look at where I am now.
So confident. We're making content right now. Imagine this.
Yeah.
You watching at home. Think of your top 3 favorite content creator, whether that's YouTubers, short form content, even like movie actors or actress. All right, you have it on your mind? Now imagine if they stopped making content. How would you feel? Or imagine if they never started. Imagine if Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee never created content.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
And so a lot of these people are just like, oh, it's so cringy creating content. But yo, you probably have a favorite content creator. Would you have the balls to go up to your favorite content creator and say, yo, you should have never created content? It's unfair. It's unfair to make those judgments when you appreciate those things.
Yes.
It's unfair for you to say that, yo, it's cringy when my friends create content. Because, bro, that person is changing someone else's lives.
Yes.
You never know it. You never know who's watching. Like, content changed my life. Content changed my life because I got into business because of it, right? Without content, I wouldn't have met all the friends that I have right now.
Wait, let me go to Washington.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But yeah, the value of creating content is unimaginable. And so, as long as your content is a net positive to society, that's all that really matters. If you're creating content that is negative, hateful, doesn't really serve a lot of purpose outside of being brain rot content, then, I mean, even then, no judgment to that, because there's viewers for anything and everything. But yeah, if you've ever questioned or doubted yourself on whether you should start creating content, just fucking do it. One of my biggest regret is not creating more content when I started my entrepreneurship journey. The little footage that I have back in 2020 when I started my business journey, I cherish those things. I wish I had more of those things. And so in the same way, learning from that lesson, I'm documenting everything right now because I'm nowhere where I want to be. So when I finally reach the destination, and I don't even think there is an end destination of where I want to go, but in a few years from now, I'm going to appreciate everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm filming, this conversation. I know 4 or 5 years from now, I'm going to be able to look back and watch the same video and remember how I felt, remembering the conversation. And plus, talking in front of a camera like this is a great practice to become a better communicator. And that's something I'm striving to become, a better communicator. Because my entire life, I've been someone who have always had something to say, but was never the best communicator. So oftentimes people would talk over me. Oftentimes people would just count me out, not listen, or not even give me the opportunity to talk. But as I get older, I understand that the power of communicating very well is the most powerful tool that we can have, that we possess. Words have started and ended wars. And so, if it has that capability, then it's definitely a superpower that you must learn to understand and wield and use so you can leverage yourself. I mean, of course, words can negatively impact a lot of things, but as long as you're being positive, just be a net positive to society and utilize your superpower. That's all I'm saying. So, bottom line here, create that content, work hard, work on yourself, because at the end of the day, when you're 85 years old in your deathbed, the only regrets you'll have is not taking more risk. You're gonna have wished you have done the things that you wish you had done. And so, knowing what I know now, it's almost like you can work backwards, right? If I know that I'm gonna regret not creating the businesses, then because I'm now technically in the past, thinking of myself from the future,
Yes.
I should start those businesses. If I'm 85, 90 years old and my biggest regret is not talking to that girl, not starting that business, not creating that content, if I know those things are going to be the truth, then I should do those things right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like I really want to add to that. Like what you said was really deep, and that's something that I always, going back to your question of like how am I like this,
Yeah.
is because of that. Like exactly what you said. I don't want to die in my deathbed with regrets. The last thing on my mind that I want to think about is regrets. I want my last thought to be those that were smiling around me, right? And that's the biggest thing that I want out of my life is I'm gonna start businesses that I really, really care about, and yeah, that's my path at least. So
Beautiful. Well, listen, there's another topic that I want to have a conversations about, and I want this to be another video. So if you made it this far, there's another video that's gonna be posted shortly after this, and I just thought about it on the spot, and I think it's super powerful that I want it to be its own separate video. And this is 45 minutes already, closing on 45 minutes. The topic, John, is what are some things you should avoid when you're starting entrepreneurship? I feel like
that's
that.
a good one.
I think
Yes.
that on a separate video on its own is going to be really powerful because we're nearing the end. I'm sure not everybody's going to make it to the end.
Exactly.
So I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to listen our perspective on the things to avoid in your first year of entrepreneurship, or if you're trying to dive into entrepreneurship. So, ladies and gentlemen, from me and John, thank you for watching this video. If you've made it this far, come on now, hit that subscribe button.
yeah, right here.
We just I don't edit my videos, so whatever, some down there, dog. But what I'm saying is thank you for being here, thank you for listening, and most importantly, thank you for trying. Peace.